This week we're going to review how to find the distance between 2 points. If the 2 points are horizontal from each other, like the 2 green points, you can just kind of draw a line for yourself, count how many boxes, and say the distance between these 2 green points is 3 units. However, when it's diagonal, you can't use that method. I can estimate how far away these 2 blue dots are, but there's actually 2 different formulas you can use, either the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem to find the exact distance between those 2 blue points. So what I'm going to do now on this video is go over how to find the distance between 2 points using the distance formula. This is a template in the red, blue, and green that I have attached for assignment 2. On the Khan Academy, there's 7 questions, and you can use the distance formula or the Pythagorean theorem to do that Khan Academy. But for at least 4 of the questions, I want you to turn in your work that you are solving it using this distance formula. You can use the template or solve it on your own paper and either scan it or take a picture to turn it in. So these are the steps that you should go through. The first step is to label the points. So if I want to find the distance between, this is like point 1 and point 2, I'm going to label this x1, y1 for point 1 and x2, y2 for point 2. So I'm done with step 1. Now I'm going to move on to step 2, which is just substituting those points into this formula. So it starts off under the square root. The first set of parentheses says x2 minus x1. Notice that I've just laid it out. I have that minus sign there because you want to make sure you don't lose any negative signs. So if x2 is -3, I'm going to put -3 here, and x1 is -6, I'm going to put -6 here. Now let's put in y2 minus y1. That's just 9, 8. So it's 9 minus 8. So I've substituted the coordinates into the formula. I'm done with step 2. Now I'm going to move on to step 3, which is just simplifying everything under that square root. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract inside each set of parentheses. So if I look at that first set of parentheses, I have -3 minus -6. So I'm going to write that out over to the side. -3 minus -6 is the same as -3 plus 6, right? Subtracting a negative is just like adding. -3 plus 6 is +3. So I'm going to change that to a 3 squared. And then in this set of parentheses, I have 9 minus 8, which is 1. So I've subtracted inside of the parentheses. Now I can square each of those items. So 3 squared is just 9, and 1 squared is 1. Now that I've squared them, now I can add. 9 plus 1 is 10. So at this point, I can take the square root. If you take the square root and the answer is a decimal, it's okay to just leave it as that square root. So this one, the square root of 10 is a decimal, so I'm just going to leave it as the square root of 10. If I came down to this point and it was like the square root of 9, I know the square root of 9 is 3, so in that case, I would simplify it to 3. But if you have the square root of something that is a decimal, then just leave it as it is.